good evening and welcome along to the arena here on WoezorTV. It's another wonderful Tuesday and we're glad to have you along, and tonight we have a lot to unpack. As we all know, the search for the next Black Stars coach is still ongoing, and tonight we are privileged to have one of somebody that I love to listen to joining us in studio. We'll have two gentlemen also joining us via online, and tonight we'll still go ahead and then discuss and unpack what we should expect, which coach will be taking over from Otto as we have less than 3 months to head to the World Cup. There are so many names flying around, but I will try to make sense of them and then try to settle and just try to make sense of what we should expect, because the president of the Ghana Football Association assured us that the new coach will be appointed this week or next week. And also this morning there were reports that the Executive Council of the Ghana Football Association held a meeting earlier today to also discuss who takes over from Otto Addo. So all this and more coming up in the next 90 minutes and more, perhaps. Remember, we'll also bring you our team of the week here, and we'll bring you the wrap of Ghanaian players abroad as well. We'll bring you our Investors Corner as well. As always, the show is proudly sponsored by my Bet.Africa, always holding us down to bring you there and here at WoezorTV. And so my name is Samuel Appiah. Remember, the show is interactive, and so you can join us with your thoughts, your comments as well, and also as the question, whom are you expecting to take over from Otto Addo as we prepare to make our 5th appearance at the 2026 FIFA World Cup this summer in the USA, Canada and Mexico. We'll take a quick spin. I'll be back, and then I'll introduce the gentlemen, and then we'll get the show and we'll stay with us.
Your flight is ready to leave.
Sit back and relax and enjoy the flight.
Do you want a sugar-free, freshly squeezed fruit juice? Choose Greenline fruit juice and smoothies filled with vitamin C, calcium, iron, fiber, and zinc. Every drop of Greenline juice and smoothies is naturally made to give you energy, good health, and refreshment. Enjoy your favorite Greenline orange, pineapple passion, watermelon, pineapple and turmeric, pineapple beetroot, pineapple and ginger, and healthy green. Greenline fruit juice and smoothies, powered by nature.
Right, so welcome back. You're still watching the arena here on WoezorTV. My name is Samuel Appiah, and tonight I have 3 gentlemen in the studio. 2 of them are Liverpool fans, and one of them, as always, the Arsenal gentleman. Let me start from my extreme left. Wendell, good evening. Welcome to the arena. Okay, I was with you. So yesterday we're here. So, but I hope you're doing well.
Of late, I don't have joy. Football doesn't give me joy at all, of course. My favorite Black Stars is not doing well. Liverpool, headache. So, I mean, as I said, it's still tennis.
All right, that's fine. And so that's Wendell. And so Michael, as always, joining us. Michael, good evening. Welcome.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. So it's a pleasure to be here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the other gentleman making his second appearance on the show, and I just want to say thanks to Nee and thanks for him also showing up. And he's Kojo Ademins as somebody that we all love to listen to, and we are glad to have him along. And he will help us to make sense and what we also expect going into to the appointment of the next Black Stars. Coach Kojo, good evening and welcome.
Thank you very much. It's always an honor to be called, and I don't take it for granted. I feel very flattered when you guys invite me. I know it's not easy getting me here. I know that, but if I'm not able to make it, it's not because I don't want to. You should understand that I have so many things pulling me. But football-wise, let me join Wendell in saying that Black Stars are pui, Liverpool are poo, Kotokonsu the So Charlie, football side is not fun at all. No, it's not fun at all.
Right.
He's using you are saying tennis.
Yeah.
I'm doing Formula 1. I'm enjoying Formula 1.
I can see.
Yeah.
Right, so there you have them, all of them, Wendell, Michael, and then our senior man, Kojo, joining us in studio. We'll have some gentlemen also joining us online, and then we'll try to unpack all the Black Stars issues and going forward, which we also expect. We'll try and then re-establish connection quickly with the senior Michael Otieje. Will join us very shortly as we also have a discussion with him. And so, hello, good evening, and welcome to the arena. Right, okay, so we are here to establish connection with Oti, but Kojo?
Yeah.
Our first time of having you, but before I even begin with you, let me quickly do this announcement, and and so as we all know, the Black Stars will be making an appearance at the 2026 FIFA World Cup in North America this summer, and there is a simple news and a good news for everyone that is watching us tonight. And just pack your bags, because 2 people are going to the 2026 FIFA World Cup today, and 2 more tomorrow, and 2 more the day after that. Now, this is the Black Stars World Cup support raffle, and for just 10 Ghana cedis, you could win a full World Cup experience package, return flights, accommodation, and match tickets for all 3 Ghana group games in North America. Now, and there are daily consolation prizes, cash to your mobile money wallets, autographed Black Stars jersey, VIP fan packs, tickets, airtime, and data bundles, and more. Every ticket is your vote for the Black Stars, and your shot at being there when the Black Stars they play against Panama, Croatia, and then England. Now, to participate, you just dial *899# on MTN, Airtel, or Telecel. *899# on MTN, Telecel, or Airtel Tigo, and then you can just join. Now, just 10 cedis per ticket. Now, the more you buy, the better your chances. Now, 2 winners every day. Ghana to the World Cup. Just dial *899# or visit Ghana or ghworldcupraffle.com to participate. ghworldcupraffle.com to participate. And so this is the good news that I have for you. So just join as we push the Black Stars as they prepare for the World Cup this summer. So Kojo, let me begin with you. We're in studio last week. We spent the whole of our time talking about the Black Stars, but we will introduce another perspective, and then the guys also will come in. Kojo, first of all, let me find out from you, and I believe that the guys will also want to hear from you. First of all, when you heard, I had a privileged information that after the Australia game there were meetings, and it was not quite clear whether he was going to be sacked, but it was later when we were told that the decision was established after the Australia game. So heading into the Germany game last year, I was here with the guys, and I told them that when I saw Tuado speaking to the media on Sunday, a day before the Germany game, I didn't really like his body language, but after the game we all heard the news that he was sacked. First of all, let me find out from you, were you expecting that, and what was your reaction when you heard the news?
I was not expecting it, but I was not surprised at all. The records are clear. I don't know how many coaches will survive Otto's record, especially going into the World Cup, and considering how much Ghanaians, have come to love going to, being at the World Cup. And it being a World Cup in the United States of America. the factors and the variables were so many, it didn't surprise me at all, because we had played our last 2 friendlies, proper last 2 friendlies. They were very poor, and so the vim and the vibe and the enthusiasm, we had punctured the balloon there, you know, the euphoria, it was all gone. So I wasn't surprised at all that, you know, he got the sack. Look at the record. Failed to qualify for the AFCON. I mean, that is a bare minimum. For me, I always say, any coach who comes to the Black Stars and doesn't win the AFCON, for me, hasn't succeeded. Right. You have to. It is these 2 guys here. I've never seen it. Yeah. I stand corrected. Oh, you grab. You get what I mean. Yeah. So the barest minimum is to win the AFCON. All right. Fortunately or unfortunately, though, FIFA are making the World Cup more and more financially beneficial, to the extent that I'm beginning to feel that Ghanaians even now prefer qualifying to the World Cup to winning the AFCON. Me, Kojo, sitting here, there, if you ask me to take one of the 2, it will be to win the AFCON. That is my barest minimum. But the question me sometimes asks is, why not both? Why don't you win the AFCON and qualify? Why don't you be a Senegal? Win it and qualify. So I wasn't surprised. But look at the AFCON qualifier record. Atrociously poor. Look at his friendlies. It was even worse. I don't think Otto won any friendly worth mentioning. The only place where he had or that kept him going was his World Cup qualifier record. That was near perfect. I think he won 5, drew 1, something like that. So that was near. But then you start asking yourself, was it really Otto or was it just the boys? You know, and if you say it was the boys who really wanted to go to the World Cup, so they play about, then it means that did they sabotage him for AFCON? Does it mean that they didn't want to put their leg into the AFCON? You know, we don't, right now, I don't know about Pompey Press situation, but he's by now sitting down asking himself, did I have to go in for that tackle? Is that going to affect my ability? Because he was probably our best player up until when he was injured. You know, so it's not surprising at all. Like I said, I can't figure out how many coaches will survive unless Ghana had given up that, Charlie, the thing, the die is cast. But no, the nation needs the euphoria. The nation needs the thing going into that World Cup, going into our first game against Panama. What we showed against Austria was, I mean, I think it was probably the worst Black Star performance I had seen in a very long time, even worse than some of our AFCON qualifier games. So, hey, not surprised that he's been kicked out. And I think it's the right decision. I think it's the right decision to kick him out. People question the timing. If you know you do this, you do this. Why didn't you? But I also think that it was important to get this high-profile game to really gauge it properly. You know, on the back of the Chad, the Sudans, the Angolas, people were not too sure. But I think Austria and Germany sealed the decision. And there's time. I mean, Cote d'Ivoire's coach who won the AFCON, he was appointed mid tournament. You know, we've seen this happen many times where but in any case, whoever is appointed will not have an opportunity to see the team. This is not club football. So our next game is probably what? Mexico or Wales?
Mexico.
Mexico and then Wales. And that one cries not a proper international break, so to speak. So I don't know how many players will be available.
But then I have an information on that. So let's talk to Michael.
Yeah, okay, that was
Michael
great.
is showing us, and he's our senior man. Michael, sorry for keeping you on. Our senior man Kojo was trying to expand some few things for senior Michael or CJ. Good evening and welcome to the arena.
Good evening, and my regards to everyone in the studio. And good evening, Kojo. Passionate as always.
Yeah. Senior, I know for a fact that you were in Germany and you went there and then you had opportunity to talk to the FA president and some few things. We'll come to that. But first of all, haven't followed this team and then haven't followed Otuado and the team in general. Could you touch briefly on the timing aspect? would you agree that some argue that the timing really is a problem? From where you sit, the decision to sack him at this time with less than 3 months to the World Cup, is the timing a problem for you?
Well, I think I think Kojo would know this because he's a high-end executive. At some point, you've got to make decisions. The fact that the window to make the decision earlier would have passed is no reason why you are barred from making that decision when you consider all the factors and come to the conclusion that something has got to give. So to answer the timing question, I think you've got to look at it in two ways. One, Otuado should have been sacked after the Nations Cup failure. I don't think anybody will deny that. And I was gobsmacked that the Ghana Football Association made a decision largely on the prompting and the encouragement and the persuasion of his president, Ketu Kweku, who has been like mainly like the one-man crusade of Otuado, that he could salvage the situation. The solution in their mind was to sort of double up with him in terms of the technical staff, to try to build better relationship with everybody involved and all that. But I thought that the Nations Cup failure provided potentially the most conclusive evidence about one, Otuado's capacity for the job, two, about the I don't know how to explain it. It provided the second most conclusive evidence for me was that he just didn't seem to be getting through to the guys. And when I reflect on all the issues around the leadership crisis, the confusion in the team, I always got a sense that something was broken, which brings me to something that Kojo said. But the moment that the GFA was able to keep him in place and he did what he did in the World Cup, it was going to be an even more Herculean task to sack him immediately off the back of the World Cup. Maybe should we have seen the signs in the friendly matches that Ghana played in Japan and South Korea and said, this is not where you have, because realistically, that is your level, by the way. But I think that the whole nation wanted a certain evidence from the game against Austria. And I think primarily from my conversations behind the scenes and the rest. In World Cup situations, Ghana struggles to beat teams like Germany, Italy, we've seen it over and over again, Brazil and the rest. What Ghana doesn't struggle to do is when Ghana comes up against teams like Australia, Czech Republic, Serbia, and you put Austria in that category, Ghana shows up. And I think there was a sense that there needed to be a certain element of evidence from the team. So you could excuse the Japan and the South Korea game on the back of the fact that there were a lot of key players who decided not to travel or who were missing. Kudus didn't go, Semenyo didn't go, Partey didn't go. So that was a depleted squad. But this was effectively a full squad. And with a full squad, the display by the Black Stars against Austria was, Kojo was right, hands down, one of the worst I've seen the Black Stars play. And I remember very well flying out to Germany that same night at Kotoka. Everybody was having a conversation about it. The check-in staff, the immigration officials, everybody was angry about it. And on Saturday morning, by the time we had disembarked in Amsterdam, trying to catch the connecting flight at Schiphol with all those long distance walks, I got a sense in one conversation that Otuado was losing his job the following Monday and that nothing was going to matter in that Germany game. I think that something fundamentally shifted in the support that the GFA and the president had for Otuado before the game, and that the Austria game convinced everybody around, as far as decision making was concerned, that they were walking down a blind alley, and that this was not the path to go. And I think it was the Austria game that really shifted that. So no, the timing, to quote something the GFA president also said, in football, the timing is always right. You score a goal in the 95th minute, it's a goal. You score it in the first minute, you can defend it, it's a goal. So long as you've made the decision, and you've got to get the next decision right. So with the same analogy about scoring a goal late, you still must defend it. You score it early, you still must defend it. So the decision has been made. The most important thing I think now is to find the right man to come in and to put in place the right systems and to find the right targets for what the World Cup should be about in June this year.
Very much. I mean, final one maybe perhaps from me in the studio. So you had the sense that definitely it was going to be sacked even before you arrived in Germany. Now, after the game against Germany, he was sacked. You had the opportunity to interview the GFA president, of an interview that I've listened to it about 4 or 5 times now, because I really loved how it went about. But the FA president sitting in front of you, looking into his eyeballs, and when he told you that we're going to bring in an experienced manager, a winner, whether with club side or a national team, a coach that walks into the dressing room, and all the players can see that this is a manager that has done it before, and so in him we need to trust. What sense did you get from that statement that he made? And from your perspective as a senior colleague that we've been following, what kind of manager do you think that the FA will end up appointing?
I think on reflection, nobody sacks a manager at such a high level with such a major task to come. And again, I always like to sort of draw comparisons with the corporate world. You've got a big deal coming up. You're not sacking the manager until you have a clear idea in the least scenario of a short list that you are going to bring. So I thought maybe the timeline that he gave of 1 week or 2, and he was quite specific about it, was with a short list that they have in mind. They've been pretty good at managing the information. I think that it will be a manager who's coached a really top level side before. From my small idea of the people on the short list and everything, there could be potentially 3 or 4 managers in that list. And some of them may have coached top level African sides, but top level European sides too. And there will be at least 1 or 2 in them, I think, who have managed at the World Cup before. You just got to figure out who is available at what point in time and who can walk in and bring that. But a lot of what the GFA president says as well, you have to assess that as a journalist. He is a bit like the salesperson of the Ghana Football Association. He did that interview off the back of a decision that a lot of people had questions about. He did that off the back of a decision that many people thought should have been taken long and moments ago. So effectively, he needed to convey a sense of calm, a sense of authority. He needed to let you get a sense that he's got it all under control. And I think a lot of what he said about the manager who walks in and all that, but this is all in practice, really. We all thought that Milovan Raivat was going to walk into any Ghana dressing room and everything was going to change. So a lot of things needs to happen. The small that I understand is that there is a clear appetite to have somebody come in, take charge of this team, take it to the World Cup. Of course, if the person goes to the World Cup and that's well, they stay. But you've got to give yourself a way to be able to wriggle out if things don't go. And there's the real possibility that things don't go. I think there's a really strong appetite for Hervé Renard to become Ghana coach. There is also an acknowledgement that Hervé Renard will not leave Saudi Arabia before the World Cup. But there is a sense that Renard will become available after the World Cup. And there is widespread acceptance within the football community that if he's available after the World Cup, that is a man who can take this Ghana team, rebuild it, instill the confidence in it, not settle for drab results in friendlies like Utuwa does that. That is an ambitious manager. But from everything that I've heard, whoever will come in will be potentially the highest profile coach that Ghana has ever had. And the highest profile coach that Ghana has had in terms of reputation was Avram Grant taking Chelsea to the final in 2017. I think that Ghana will have somebody in and around that caliber or more to take the team to the World Cup at least.
Seconds, and then we can end our conversation. But based on what you've said, so if we had to go by that analogy where if Hervé Renard becomes available after the World Cup, and then it looks like perhaps the FA will be going in for a short-term guy or a short-term coach, and then on a long-term, then we decide to bring it. But from where you sit as a senior journalist and I mean a respected one.
Stop referring to me as senior.
I mean the
You're
decision
making me feel old.
Is the FA be a long term or the decision is going to be a short term? Then after the World Cup, we'll make a decision. Do you think it's going to be a short term or a long term?
Oh, I think that I don't know. There are different models for doing things. Really, the truth of the matter is that if you are the one making the call, you've got to make a decision whether you want to tie yourself down to a 3 year contract with somebody with the next 2 weeks in negotiations is the one who wants it the most, who is the most vulnerable. We want a manager so badly. How vulnerable are we? Could we sign a long-term contract that leaves us vulnerable to a big payout if the World Cup doesn't go well? If the World Cup goes well and you want this man to stay, his negotiations becomes even stronger. But if you have somebody as well available and ready to go, so I think that the more smarter thing to do in terms of value for money and everything could be making a decision that, look, we're going to go in with the World Cup, pay whoever it is. Well, after the World Cup, you would always find your way around. There will be a lot of managers available after the World Cup. That is also the beauty of international football. After the competition, managers get sacked, a lot of things. It's off the back of a long season. There will be 2,000,001 managers available. My option is don't tie yourself down to a long-term deal now. Take your time, relax and everything. And that is the problem with some of the contracts as well that the GFA has signed, which is, for instance, how was there not a plausible clause for us to assess Otuado after the Nations Cup failure and to be able to say, mid-contract, we are going to review this. And once you didn't qualify for the Nations Cup, you didn't have to do any big payouts. We should be using competitions as an important point to assess everybody. Me and you get assessed on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, on a half-year basis, on a one-year basis. If you're paying somebody $50,000 a month, one of the most basic things, unless you take that for granted, is to say, if we do not qualify for the Nations Cup, if I have a right to get rid of you, that sort of thing, there will be club managers whose contract is tied to whether they finish fourth, whether they avoid relegation, whether they finish in the top two, bonuses are tied to whether they win or not. I think that we could do something like that and make sure that after the World Cup, we are in more a position of, rather than a position where we're just looking to beg somebody to take this job so bad.
Much for making time to talk to us. We understand that you need to take leave of us to attend to something. So thank you very much.
I have a few more minutes. If we have to go through, we can go through. If there are any more questions, I'm happy to take them.
Right. I don't know if you have anything. Yeah. Okay. Kojo want to ask something.
I guess you have you have espoused some of my thoughts as well. I'm also pro stopgap. But something I'll be mentioning later in the program. The money issue is always an issue, and I don't know what level of or what amount of money you think we should be looking at. I have proposed that it should be short term, 3 months at $600,000. That will be something. If I'm sitting on the negotiating table, I'll say. I don't know what your view is, because Ghanaians always seem to forget about the money aspect.
I actually did a small vlog this morning on TikTok where I said that I hope that there's so much demand on who becomes the national team boss. There's so much scrutiny of it, and for good reason. They affect our mood, they affect a lot of things around us. But Otuado was paid handsomely for that trouble. He was paid $50,000 a month. I think one of the highest we've paid was Avram Grant for 70. I don't think we will get a coach short term for less than $100,000 a month. And you are right, 200 fixes part of that problem also, because then you've got to bring in a backroom staff. A lot of things will change whoever we bring in. Our practice of literally dictating who the technical team members will not work with some of the names that we are throwing around and all that. There will be managers who will come, who will bring in at least 3, 4, 5 of their most trusted backroom aides, a physical trainer, a video analyst, and that sort of thing. So this project could cost Ghana anything between $500,000 and $500,000 to $600,000. You're a finance man, so you have a good understanding of this. That is the high level for a lot of managers. It's not even the highest level. That is a bit like the medium to mid-range level for a lot of managers. So the money won't be cheap, and I don't think anybody should deceive themselves about that. The money won't be cheap at all. It won't be cheap. It will be expensive. But if you're going into a football tournament where just by participating, as Ghana will be earning $9 million, you should realistically be able to say, if I invest a bit more, I could get a bit more. I've always said that football events like the World Cup is not an investment venture. It's not the place where you do profit and loss, because the value that you get from football is so immense. The value that you get from the Blasters doing at the World Cup, you can't put a monetary value on. So you've got to invest as much as you can for the long-term benefit of it. And I think whatever happens, we have to be prepared to pay, and to pay well, for whoever will come in as the next Black Stars coach. short term or long term.
Yeah, so a little question here. So with the current backroom staff that was brought in under Otto, I don't know what particular contract they were on, but what happens to them? And the likes of Desmond Ofe, who we've looked to be possibly the next coach in the nearby future, who want to learn from these types of managers. What happened? What do you think happens to them?
I think as Ghana, we run one of the most efficient models when it comes to national team and backroom staff. So we are very clear in our minds that our national team is for us. So even when we've brought in, so you remember when the Hervé Renard was in charge of Ghana, that was the beginning of the period when the coaches always came with somebody that they trusted a bit more. So Klolewa came in with Hervé Renard as his physical trainer. But in many ways, Renard was Claude's assistant. Ghana, though, insisted on having a Ghanaian in that team, and that was slighted at some point. Kwesi Appiah was part of the backroom staff, was an assistant to, I think it was Milovan Raivat. It's always been like that. We've always had an insistence that some of our own should be in that backroom staff. To answer your question, I'll refer you to what the GFA president told me when I asked him the same question. He said they will have that conversation when they got there. That answer always suggests to me that there is room to toy it around and say and do a few things. And that's why I always say that there will be a few of the backroom staff members who will end up disappointed. Because if I am taking the Black Stars job to the for the World Cup, I want people around me I can trust more and all that, and some key positions I can bet my last person will change. But the GFA can still then go in and say, we need persons A, B, C, D in charge, because for us, this is a legacy building project. So we just can't let it happen, so that you have at least a good combination of the two. It also depends really on how much influence Otto had in appointing who to the backroom staff. That is very important. I think those ones that he would have said, I want this guy in, I want that guy in, I want that guy in, will be the most vulnerable to losing their places on the backroom team. A bit like the way managers live and work with everybody that they came along.
Very quick one. I mean, maybe that will be my final question for you, and then we can end the conversation with you. So we know, perhaps you might have heard the minister saying that maybe the target going into this World Cup has to at least go all the way to the final, possibly leave the trophy. Now, it looks like we're going into this World Cup with Otto. Now, things have changed. Last week we were in the studio and we discussed whether it is about low of quality in terms of the players. Do you in any way think that whichever coach that comes in, or to let Otto Addo go and bring in a new manager, I mean, changes the target going into this World Cup?
Well, that was the minister's target. I don't think anybody who follows football genuinely believes that the Black Stars has the capacity to lift the World Cup. Let's not kid ourselves. You know, before the World Cup in Qatar, there was a similar thing said. We are lying to ourselves. This is a team that couldn't qualify for the Nations Cup, a team that cannot win against South Korea, Japan, battered by Austria, celebrated a 2-1 loss to Germany because we thought that we didn't lose heavily. This team is in no way, not remotely close to World Cup winning level. I know that politicians say these things because it's nice to say you must back your country and the rest, but that's an unrealistic target. It's not going to happen. I think the target for Ghana must and should remain, one, getting out of the group stage. I think that beating Panama is still really within our grasp. I think that we could possibly get a really good result against both England and Croatia. That will be a really good boost for this country. It will be almost like a throwback to 2010 and 2006. I think that if we make it, and remember that because this is an expanded competition, more teams and there is an opportunity to play more matches. So there is an extra knockout phase for the team to get through and a bit more money to earn. I think that getting through to the first knockout stage is most important. And then now you can get through to the round of 16. And then now you can get through to the quarterfinal stage. In fact, repeating what we did in 2010 in South Africa will itself take an incredible lot of work. I think we get out of the group at this World Cup and we get into the round of 16 after the first knockout game. We can call it a success. Nobody, no Black Stars team, not even the one in 2010 was capable of winning the World Cup. And this team, I'm sorry, It's not going to become better magically all overnight. This team is not going to play better than it has overnight. This team is not going to gel more overnight. This team will be competitive at the World Cup. I think depending on some of the names I've heard will make this team stronger before the World Cup, will make this team more organized. Could you say something as well? Was it the players or was it the fans? Was it the coach who made the team so focused on the World Cup? I think Ghanaian players tend to like the platform of the World Cup, but that motivation alone is not enough to get you there. If you're not playing with the right systems, you're not playing with the right players, you're not playing with the right formation, you don't understand yourself a bit more, you don't know how to lay off the pass when Inaki Williams comes, if Callum Hudson-Odoi becomes a part of this team, how you gel him and all that. There is too much against this team. For the Black Stars to be able to get close to winning the World Cup, they must win the AFCON first. And even that, we've not been close for a very long time. So let's not up our hopes too much.
Thank you very much. I mean, I really like your concluding remarks. If you want to win the World Cup, first win the AFCON first, and then we can see that you are climbing you are climbing the ladder bit by bit. So, Mike, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us. We'll keep in touch, and if anything, we'll get in touch with you, and I'll bring you back.
Always a delight. I'm always a phone call away.
I'll begin with you. You heard what Kojo said. Kojo touched on the timing. He feels that is still not a problem to him, and Michael came in on and backed what Kojo said, because in management, whether you like it or not, you have to make decisions at any point in time. But the point here is that now he's gone, we are still all trying to make sense of who is coming in the next time. I'll come back to Kojo and I'll ask him something very sensitive as to what we need to do in terms of the clauses, because Michael touched on something that he doesn't understand why Otuado came in and there was nothing like maybe using his performance to assess him. But maybe, like I was telling Kojo, maybe someday I'll have to make time and then we'll tell you why Otuado was retained even when he failed to qualify for the AFCON. We'll make time to talk about. But Mike, very, 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 very briefly, and then we can have more time to talk about other things. Kojo said that he doesn't feel the timing is a problem. Going into the World Cup, the investment alone and the money that you are injecting into it alone. Michael said the same thing. You started with Kojo and Mike?
Well, at some point you will have to, because this is a results game. It's a game where you have to show proof of who you are and what you do and what you can do. And it's a game where when you are put on the front line, we trust you. We have to trust you. Your track record speaks for you. And so basically, when you look at all those factors, timing is not wrong. And like both Kojo and Michael said, the timing in football is really inconsequential. Somebody can be sacked today and bring someone else, and there are several examples. Ivory Coast won the AFCON with someone else on the bench. Timing is not really a factor. I think it's what we do after taking that decision, and like he said, and like the FA president said, it's about making the right decision to right the wrong that you feel was happening while you decided to take your decision, and that is basically what it should be.
Right. So with you, if that is the case and he's gone, now we are in search. I know myself, you, and Wanda have had argument about whether it should be short-term, long-term, whatever it is. But I'll come back to Kojo and ask him the same question. So we are here to bring in a new manager, but what should the decision be? We bring in somebody, he stays, he learn with the players, or we bring in somebody just for the World Cup and then he goes and then we have more time to build with that person that will come in after the World Cup?
It's a tricky thing, because last week I spoke passionately about what we need to do as a country and why we do not need to find ourselves in the same position again. And listening to Kojo and Michael speak, they are coming from a different angle where we are realizing what we are in this period and what we need to do to change certain things. In that aspect, we want to move forward at the World Cup where we can do our best. So at some point, we'll have to accept that short term is basically what we need to grasp now, and then look at the long term after. But I still stand by what I say, that it is high time that those who appoint and the paymasters come together, and when they come together, they draw a clear pathway for what we want our national team to be. It's a brilliant thing that Michael said there, where we understood that whoever is on our bench or whoever is part of the backroom staff, we have a very, very clear idea that a developing coach should be on it. So what stops us from agreeing on for setting some parameters for picking coaches in this country, that looking forward we can have coaches that will be with us for long years. Even if we are changing a coach, we are changing to someone who is tailored to that vision, that drive that we have. We were speaking off air about Zlatko Dalic, who will be taking Croatia to this next World Cup. He has never, I don't think, maybe those in Croatia might say that maybe he's not won them something because they were in the final. They were in Euros, doing so well in the Euros. But what they saw is continuity. If you do not know, after 2018, Dalic stepped away from the post and he was brought back in to come and continue the job. I think for now, what we have is we have to go short term. But I think after the World Cup, serious conversations must be had about what our direction should be in the future. Else we will come back to this type of decision each and every time.
You listen to him, he feels that the long term should be after the World Cup. And if we're doing that, like we said, I mean, like we discussed last week, Freda Champo saying that they need to get it right. If we are to go by what Michael said, let's do short term. What should be the steps to ensure that whoever is coming in is fit for the job and not to get it wrong? Because you might come out and communicate that, okay, we are bringing this person for the short term. After the World Cup, we'll do long term. But even for the short term, if you don't get it right, there'll be a problem.
Yeah. And as we've all said, it all starts from us. We have to know what we want to achieve at the World Cup. This is what we want to do. Then we start sifting through the managers. Does this person give us the best shot possible to achieve this? Does this person give us, irrespective of the money? The crop of players we have, is this the best guy to put this crop of players together to take us to, say, quarterfinals, semi-finals, whatever? It starts from there. We have to have a clear idea of where we want to be. Then now you start looking through the CVs, see whose pedigree meets whatever you're trying to do. And it doesn't also boil down to how good the person is. It's also how does that person, how quickly does that person fix broken things? Because in the situation we find ourselves, we need someone who is good at taking uncomfortable, being in uncomfortable situations like this and then coming out with flying colors. We need someone who can just step in and say, I know what I'm doing. A, B, C, D, and then the team can be presentable enough to go to the World Cup. Because mind you, we are raising funds. We are doing raffles where we are telling Ghanaians that this is a shared responsibility. The Black Stars is going based on how well you help them go. So the expectation is really high, and it's the US. At the end of the day, whether they like it or not, we are highly invested. And this is one of the last opportunities we have as the Black Stars, or the Black Stars has, to get Ghanaians back on track in terms of supporting them. If we miss this one, then it doesn't work. And given the new policy of how the government doesn't want to spend money or release funds from national coffers to the Black Stars, it means we are going the way of getting investments from the private sector and then the citizens themselves directly from their pockets. So the Black Stars will have to perform at this World Cup to keep that model going on. Else, we don't know what is going to happen next after that.
We'll have exactly what the FA president said with regards to the kind of coach that they are hoping to appoint to succeed with Tuadu, whether on the long term or the short term. We'll bring you that coach card shortly. But, Kojo? I want you to talk to me about the short term thing, okay? But something that I was talking to the guys, maybe just briefly, and then you can touch on that briefly for me, and then we can make progress. Should we be concerned because under this administration it doesn't look like we are able to sustain coaches? We've been able to do well in bringing in the right coaches for the team.
That is very true. I mean, maybe he's the head, so we have to mention his name. But Kurt's record with managers has not been great, and I think it's one of the reasons why he put his neck on the line literally for Otto. Otto is the longest serving coach under Kurt.
Yeah.
You know, so I think when Kurt came in, Kwesi was there.
And then
he kicked. Kwesi went CK.
Yeah.
CK left.
Milo came.
Milo.
Yeah.
Milo left. Chris. Chris left. Otto part 2. You know, so I can tell that it was playing on the mind of Kurt that, look, I'm building a certain track record that is really not great, that I'm unable. It's like he's unable to work with the coaches. Right. So I think this time he really wanted to prove that he can work with the coaches. So it is worrying, no doubt. Yeah. But I'm hoping that, I heard you say, Fredachi was saying we need to get it right. And Oti too mentioned it. Look, from where we sit in such executive roles and all, that you've made one decision, you fired. It is even a more difficult decision on your next hire. And so they have to make sure that next long-term hire should be spot on. This short-term one may not be as difficult. By the way, from what Wendell was saying about they need somebody who is comfortable with all this chaos and all that, it doesn't still always work. Igor Tudor has proven to us that he came in with a reputation of Mr. Fix-It short-term. That is the reputation he came in with. And he's going to be probably the shortest serving Premier League manager of all time. So the thing, it is a very tricky thing. Coaches succeed in one club and fail miserably in another. Another two will fail miserably somewhere. And so the dynamics are plenty. You need to figure out how the relationship with players. And so answering your question, yes, it is worrying that unfortunately under Kurt's administration, we will be having our 7th coach or sixth coach or 7th appointment if you do Otto twice.
Yeah, sure.
So 6th, and then if we are going to go short term, which we are all clamoring for, it could be yet another human being. But what it does, why I prefer the short term approach is
because that was exactly what I was going to ask you.
It gives you an opportunity to escape if it doesn't go well. And it is, I know people mentioned the 9 million, but I tell you, the 9 million, it was finished before it even landed on the table. So something else will give. Under that 9 million, some project will be struck off, and then Project World Cup will be replaced. So the reason why it is good to do short term now is to get an exit opportunity. And the person too coming in can understand that, okay, I'd love to be with Black Stars for a long time, but let me give it my best shot. Right. If it doesn't work out, I just take what I have to take and go. If it works out, then we sit down again and actually negotiate. Oti was spot on about ensuring that we do not negotiate ourselves to a desperate position, because it's looking like we are so desperate that anything and anything will go. No, we shouldn't do that. But the short term gives you an exit clause. After the World Cup, there will be some time before the AFCON qualifiers start again. Exactly. I think there will be enough time to take our time and really sit down. And it's not great to have 5-6 coaches within this time, but it is what it is. We are where we are, and we've got to do what we've got to do.
If we are going for a short-term fix, right, and so if that is the case, then it means that on the short term, Heavy Renard's name is out now because he's decided to stay.
You see,
with the Saudi thing.
So, and this Heavy Renard thing, just a quick one. Similar situation when before Otto was
reappointed.
Yeah, he was approached. He was considered, but he said, I'm with the French national team. I think at that time he was with the French. I'm with the French team. I need to finish it. We needed a coach. We were going to go into a qualifier in about 3 weeks
So you are confirming to us that he was approached before Tuadu came in?
I think even before our committee was set up.
Was okay. Yeah, so
he wasn't interviewed.
But he was just approached.
I can tell he was approached even before our committee was set up. But he had a contract, and I think it was good that he had to respect that contract.
The contract.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So
and then he hadn't gone and tasted the sweet money at Saudi yet. So the financial side was a plausible thing. But now I don't know if he'll be ready to take a cut, to take the
come back. So question to all of you. Now, Michael seems to agree with the fact that we should go for a short-term fix. Now you also seem to so 100%. There are names of coaches being mentioned and all that. I'm not going to call out any
neither.
Yeah, but from where you sit, if we were to do that, which coach are you looking at that if we bring in for the short term, he's really going to do a very good job for us?
We should take the best coach we want to pay, or the best coach our money can pay. Simple. That's my simple answer. The best our money can afford. Yeah. It's that simple.
But within that, so we need to look at a certain coach.
You see, I had a problem when the FA boss started trying to put out a criteria.
Yeah. And
same thing Macado did.
Yeah, could you not to catch you? But guys, if you have that code card on Kets saying that they will bring in a winner and so blah blah blah. Please just get that one for us.
Mark did a similar thing as Black Stars man. And the press, this is the type we want. Because the moment you do this and you do the appointment, they will put it side by side and start saying, you said this, but you brought this. You said this, but you brought this. Forgetting that this is not the only criteria that is considered when the coach matter is on the table. There are plenty variables that are competing for space and attention. But even this that he said, let it come up again.
Yeah.
What are we? What if we go and bring let's say who won the? I use Pereira, right? He's won the World Cup before. If we bring such a person, is he somebody Ghanaians are going to accept? They'll say that one was the last time he coached. He's forgotten he's not modern. But he would have met this criteria.
Yeah.
So we should be. I wish Ket hadn't come up like this. There are coaches too who have never coached top anywhere, but ultimately they won the World Cup. People talk about Joachim Low.
Yeah.
What had Joachim Low done prior to winning the World Cup with Germany? He literally was. Germany had patience for him. Because his record was not anything to write home about. But Germany stuck with him, and he went. So the coaching thing is not a straight scientific thing. It's not 1 + 1 is 2. It's not. It is a very, very dicey, difficult thing, and I just hope and pray that we get it right. I really, really, really want us to get this right.
Mike, Kojo is hoping that we get it right, but he doesn't want to commit himself by calling out any name. I mean, for sure. But are you for short term? Okay, you said if we are for short term.
Well, I said I am for short term with a proper discussion about what we do after
the World Cup.
Yes, because what we are doing now has been the norm for several years, and you keep asking yourself, how did we get to this point? He made a very brilliant example of Joachim Low. Joachim Low was a simple kid, and he was just there in the German camp. But the idea of promoting who we have and having a stick plan. I'll tell you a very beautiful story of how Germany won the 2010 World Cup. Germany had
2014.
Sorry, Germany had failed a lot of times.
In 2006 when they hosted it in 2010, and then they finally
they lost very miserably to Italy in the
semi-final. I think.
Yes, and they had a very the chancellor himself was inside and had a very, 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 very stern words for them, and he said that I'm going to invest in you in the next 2 editions as much as possible. If you do not bring me that trophy, I'm not investing in football again. And then they began a very meticulous plan that had Hansi Flick in there. A lot of. So that's my problem. We can have whatever we want to do, but please, let's make sure we don't get back to this route again. But talking about short term, long term. For now, a bird in hand is better than 200 in the bush. That's what we need to do to be able to perform better. We can do that.
Okay. I mean, any name, any name that comes to mind.
Oh, for now, I've seen some few names, and like he's saying, whatever. You see the coaching team, it be some way. Somebody was mentioning.
It be some way.
I saw a few reports about and we're speaking about this before Paulo Bento.
Yeah.
And then, like he said, you put Paulo Bento and the criteria down. And then it's questionable because your man you sack himself. He's scoring.
Well, see, let's talk to Chris, okay, and then we'll come back and then
my good friend.
Yeah. No more.
Yes, sir.
No, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. Oh, forgive me. Oh, I've left the phone and I'm watching the Champions League.
No problem. No problem. But we are so much grateful for making time to talk to us, Chris.
Sure.
I know you have been a strong advocate of. The FA you believe that the FA should have sacked Otuado right after when he failed to qualify for the AFCON. You have also argued that in your own estimation and based on the from practical experience, he shouldn't have been on the job in the first place, or shouldn't have even appointed in the first place. But I mean, we've moved on from there. The question now is that who comes in, who steps in? Should we go in for a short term or we should go in for a long term?
Okay, good evening. For me, I don't want a short term because of what is ahead of us. As we speak, the AFCON qualifiers will start in September. Yeah. Barely less than 2 months after the World Cup. Next year, there's an AFCON 2028 too, there's an AFCON. So there's a back-to-back AFCON. I think today, CAF even confirmed that the next AFCON will be played, I think June, July, or July, August, something like that.
No, June, July rather.
June, July, there you go. That is June, July of next year.
Yeah.
So if you are an FA, you should be looking at the long term. I think that if there's a very good coach out there, you need to sell the projects to him. And you need to get him to understand why, as a country, a footballing country like Ghana, we've not won the AFCON in over 44 years. And we are not looking at the AFCON. We are not just looking at the World Cup. We are looking beyond the World Cup. And this is a very lucrative and a very enticing job. You've got quality players to work with to come and make a name for yourself. But the problem is that, look, maybe there are certain things you people don't know yet. The people at the FA, they've started sabotaging who the next coach to be. What I know, if I say I'm going to put it out there, I'm going to use your platform to put it out there. You guys will be shocked at the diabolic orchestration of the Ghana Football Association not to bring in a top-notch coach, a coach that they themselves know that they cannot control. Katokraku will only accept a coach that he can control. But we are waiting. By Wednesday next, we have been told from very reliable sources that they have until the end of tomorrow to put forward their name. We are waiting for who their name is going to be. The one thing that has to be made crystal clear, it cannot be any backroom staff that worked under Otuado. All of them have shown to be very incompetent, and most of them, they still have a long, long way to go. The Black Stars job is not Matra Makwe. So if the FA are trying to put forward the name like Desmond is Matra Makwe. Nobody in Ghana can tell me that he's tried and proven. So he cannot be part of the equation. The inequality associated with him is absolutely gargantuan. So what some of us are saying is that go out there, pick a top-notch coach, sell the project to the coach, and get him to come on board. Look, I'm stating, I'm holding back a bit. The FA has ensured that Ghana as a country will not get heavy rain. From tomorrow, from Thursday, you people will see, some of us will put out the true narrative on how Heavy Renard had committed to the Saudi when he was highly interested in the Black Stars job. I'm telling you, you can quote me anywhere you go. What I've just told you is factual, is truthful. And nobody at the Ghana Football Association can come and deny that. But having said that, Hervé Renard has committed to the Saudis for the World Cup. So he will take the Saudi national team to the World Cup. I am aware that the Black Stars job is very, very attractive to top-notch coaches. So what they need to do is to look at a coach whose identity, whose philosophy will bring the best out of our players. Where we've gotten to, we don't have time to do one matramake to bring in a coach whose way of playing the game will not be in sync with the quality of our team or with the strength of our team. So me, on top of my head, if you are asked to choose any coach, I think if we are going domestic, it has to be Appiah. If we want to step out there, go to South Africa, sell the project to Pitso Mosimane, I think that South African coach, the way he plays his football and the way he's like a fatherly figure who tends to get everybody to express himself in a manner that will benefit his setup. He's a coach we should be looking at. I've heard Joachim Low from his end is the Dimban, that is not true. Nobody has spoken to him yet. He's not interested in the job. My stand is that if we cannot, we need to get a long term. Don't do anybody in the interim unless the long-term coach that you have targeted has given you an assurance that after the World Cup, I will come and take up the job. Then you can do an interim. But if you can get a coach who you believe is top-notch and you can sell the project of the AFCON 2027 and the AFCON 2028. Look, my brother, believe you me, Ghana will have to win one of those two AFCON. It's been a long time. It's unacceptable. If we don't win the next AFCON, the last time we won an AFCON, that was in 1982. If you do the calculation, it will be over 46 years.
Yeah.
Come on, man. We can't be going through that. So don't do an interim. If you can get the best man for the job, who want to use it is unfortunate that as a result of the incompetence of Keto Kreku and his FA people, we are going to use the World Cup to more or less get the new coach to believe in the players you're going to be using for the future. No country in the world will use the World Cup as a yardstick to prepare his team for the future, because that's the pinnacle of national team football. And at Keto Kreku, they have rendered every preparation that we have done completely useless. And the next coach of the Black Stars, he will name the 26 man when he has not even trained with them even once. Yeah, there will be nothing like Tetem. Mark my words.
All right.
We know what we are going to do. We know the sort of pressure we will put on the government of Ghana to ensure that the money that the government of Ghana spent on the normalization committee will not be put or will not be made useless and rendered completely useless by Keto Kreku and his people. There will be nothing like a third term for Keto Kreku. And if even it is approved, he will not be the one to benefit from it. There will be a clear, transparent election, and the best person who I believe will not be part of this regime will come and then take our football to the next level.
Right. No more. I have just my last but one question. Your very good friend Kojo Ademesa is in the studio with us. Maybe he would also want to, find out some few things from you. But coach, my last but one question has to do with, you watched those two games against Australia and Germany, and then you have subscribed that we should do long term. I strongly believe that the AFCON that we didn't also play or featured in really got us exposed in those two games, because if we should have played in the AFCON, it would give us the luxury, or the coach the luxury to improve the team and then get things right. We didn't. We failed to qualify under Tuado, and then we got battered by Australia, and then we lost to Germany as well. On the long term, what should be the target? The coach coming in, what should the discussion be? Improve the team, get us to the World Cup. What should be the target?
You see, it's simple. You cannot overly expect something tremendous from the new man coming in from the World Cup. Just tell him that go and do well. Go there and make sure we are not embarrassed. Make sure we are not embarrassed, meaning that at least step out of the group. Whatever comes next, we will accept it. But just make sure we don't get booted out in that first round of the tournament. The moment you can do that, then it means we are ahead of something very special. And like I've said, sell the project of the 2027 and the 2028 AFCON. I think if you can sell that project to that young man, whoever he is, if he's competent enough, I mean, he can target one of those two AFCON, and then we can go and win it. So at the end of the day, that is one of the reasons why I don't want an interim coach. But if we cannot get the man who is ready to be, the one we think should be the long term, if he's not ready for us now, and he can assure us that after the World Cup he will come and take up the job, then you do an interim. Because look, it is so sad. It is so sad that a footballing country like Ghana, we find ourselves in such a situation simply because of the stubbornness, the lack of dynamism, and the static leadership of Ketukeku and his people. Otto Addo shouldn't have been given the job. He did not deserve the job. Nobody can convince me. Because even after coaching the Black Stars in Qatar, when he went back to Germany, Dortmund did not see the need to elevate him. They reinstated him as a trainer scout, and we saw him to be something that we've never seen before. Gave him the best ever contract in the history of Ghana. Jesus Christ. How wicked can you be? If this is not wickedness, somebody who lacks the practical experience for so many years, he's not done it. The only reference he could reference is by coaching our team at the World Cup. You gave him the best ever contract. In terms of money, in terms of duration, without even putting him on probation, this is wickedness. This is why some of us have said that we will challenge the matter in court. The taxpayer cannot be made to pay that 500,000 compensation. The Ghana Football Association should be made to pay. Because personally, I do believe that if the man didn't deserve the job, he did not meet any of the criteria that was set, you don't give him the best ever contract in terms of monthly salary, bonuses, duration, without any performance clauses in the contract there. Who would do that if there's no connivance? Who would do that if there's no... Look, my boss, Kodada Mensah, is my boss. He runs a proper institution. Ask him for me. Would he, with his years of experience and the knowledge he's acquired, would he have given a complete, somebody who is very new, somebody who hasn't got any practical experience, would he have given him the best ever contract without any probation? He would never do that. It speaks volumes of the incompetence of Ketukeku and the ESCO people there. Very incompetent people. And they have the reason why we are where we are today. And for me, look, some of us say it is in the interest of Mother Ghana. Everybody knows my stand. Once I know I'm right, once I am right, I will speak my mind. And it tells me that we should not allow Ghana. We will challenge the government of Ghana. We will plead with the government of Ghana that don't Ghana spend to bring back football to be this useless. The thing you are supposed to go just 2 terms. We've not even gone one cycle. Then you are thinking about extending your tenure. Even if it extended to a 3rd term, he will not be the one to benefit. Look, you see what will happen in this country. Right. The pressure Save Ghana Football Group that will put on the FA and the government. There will be a change. We will go to Parliament. We will make sure our voices are heard. We will demonstrate in every region in this country to make sure that Ketukeku doesn't go a 3rd term. He's destroyed our game, and he has to give way for better people to come and run our football.
All right, no. Thank you. Kojo, you have anything to for no?
Champion, you have no WoezorTV, no Real Madrid can buy any. Oh no, fine. She just a quick one, coach. You know, I think after the World Cup, there'll be a lot of coaches sort of available and more willing to listen. So I share your point in the long-term thing, but I think in this particular situation, we should go interim with an option to continue with whoever it is if it works. But the Rene Have situation, he has committed Saudi with the World Cup. It is after the World Cup that others will listen.
My boss, if I tell you the manner in which the man committed, the man waited for the people for 3 days and they went and lied. You at the right time, all these things will be put out there. The Ghana Football Association, the man, he waited, gave them 3 days waiting for the contract. They won't bring the contract. Then they went and lied that somebody say you pay less when the person say you actually pay what the man is equal to. You at the right time will come out with all these facts.
Thank you very much for talking to us. That was Christopher, namely sharing his thoughts with us. So many things. But, I mean, Wanda, I was coming to you. Kojo has subscribed to short term, Mike short term. Chris believes that we should go on the long term on the basis where the person after the World Cup, I mean, will still be okay. I'll still be on, but he called out some 2 names: Kusi Appiah or Peter Mosumani, because he.
So they want him for Kotoko, not national. Go on.
Anyways, so I mean, but in the first place, where do you stand? Stand with short term. And then we can conclude on this matter, and then one or two questions, and we can wrap up.
In terms of monetary value, short term is the best way to go, because you can't go committing another long term contract again. If it doesn't work at the World Cup, then you have to give another payout within the same year. No, that would just mean we've not learned from our mistakes. Short term now, and as has been said, there will be more coaches available after the World Cup. Some will be sacked. Some will step down. I mean, now we can now go ahead and pitch the plan of 2027, 2028. So the short term is the best way to go.
Any names that run through your head?
If you put me in a situation like this, names in the short term, given the amount of money that we have, as I was telling you most of the time, our pedigree has been Serbia and the likes. If whatever money comes, if that is not enough to get you the top coach, you cannot do anything, honestly. Your budget is what will show who you get. So
just like what Kojo said.
At the end of the day, when we don't know what the budget is to say, we also don't know what coaches are looking for in terms of remuneration. So we cannot say this person is going to dead set and take this job or something. But at the end of the day, it's up to negotiation and how well we are able to negotiate with who we want.
Okay. At this point, I was also about to say that at this point, like Michael said earlier, if we present ourselves desperate, we are in a bad position to negotiate.
That could be another problem.
And that could be another problem. And that could mean that the market becomes unstable for us. So
because we are desperate, we look desperate.
And then there are certain coaches, or most coaches, will not take a job where the employers are desperate.
All right.
At the end of the day, even if they take that job, you set a precedent for the next person or the next negotiation. At the last time you paid this person this amount, then that means I'm worth much more. If you claim I've achieved more and I can take you in the long term. So then it all boils down to this next decision. If we don't get it right, there will be a lot of ramifications in the future.
Reason why she said we need to get it right this time around.
Exactly.
I will ask you one quick question, then we'll go for a quick commercial break. Chris touched on the closest thing. Sorry, Michael touched on it earlier.
Yes.
You also touched
very
on it.
Key. Yes.
Now we all on this table have agreed that we should go for the short term.
Yes.
In terms of clauses, contractual clauses, because we paid, compensation to CK. Chris. Otto, I'm not sure of the part 1. But then
part 1, he parted.
He just parted. Okay, so it has been CK. Yeah, it has been CK, Milo. And Chris.
Yes.
And now Otuado. So 4 now. And then you raise a concern where you believe that why is not that there should be a clause that really.
Oti made the point. In fact, I don't know the nitty-gritty of the contract. I don't know if Oti is privy to it. It is possible that the clause was there that if you do not qualify for the AFCON, the FA has the option to to
terminate
terminate the contract without paying you the severance package. It is there. It's possible that it is there. I'm not saying we know for a fact.
It's possible.
But we crossed that bridge. Yeah. So everybody says that was a point where a decision could have been made. We didn't, or we made the decision of sticking with him. And Oti agreed with me at the point where, based on the World Cup qualifiers that were ahead of us and the track record of what he had done, it was still a difficult situation. If we had kicked him out and not qualified for the World Cup, everybody in Ghana would have said, why didn't we just keep our auto? So I can understand. So there's no guarantee that the clauses are not there. It's possible that it's there. But me, if I'm doing a contract today for a Black Stars coach, I won't even put World Cup qualifier as a condition. If you don't win the AFCON, forget it.
You are out.
You are out. In fact, I may even tweak the contract such that I'll pay you maybe if you're demanding 150, I'll pay you $50,000 a month. If you win the AFCON, then I'll pay you everything. But something like that. Because 40 how many years? Me, when I saw the World Cup, I was 10 years, but the AFCON, I was 10 or 11 years old or something, like 82, how old was I? 11 or something. I was a kid. It was black and white. I watched the AFCON in black and white. That is the trophy we need. But Nimli said it was the best contract ever. I'm not sure about that. I suspect Abraham Grant's contract was better.
Okay.
I suspect Abraham Grant's contract
because he has been the best coach since.
I think his contract was more in terms of cash than Otto.
I think he's also coming from the angle of longevity.
The longevity there is possible. The longevity there because we all had agreed that, Charlie, it's high time we gave our coaches time. And then the Alucisi argument was there plenty.
Exactly,
there were
Walid,
all those conversations were there. So it was thought that, okay, let's try Otto. But it hasn't worked. And that's for that, the abrogation there. I have no qualms about it. Absolutely no qualms. But there must be key milestones for whoever we appoint. And Charlie, it has to be the AFCON. Hey, we can't qualify for AFCON. No.
That's worrying, right? And so, well, let's take this quick commercial break. We'll be back, and we'll touch on just some one or two things, and then we can wrap up the show. Stay with us.
Sugar-free, freshly squeezed fruit juice? Choose Greenline fruit juice and smoothies. Filled with vitamin C, calcium, iron, fiber, and zinc, every drop of Greenline juice and smoothies is naturally made to give you energy, good health, and refreshment. Enjoy your favorite Greenline orange, pineapple passion, watermelon, pineapple and turmeric, pineapple beetroot, pineapple and ginger, and healthy green. Greenline fruit juice and smoothies, powered by nature.
If you're watching this with your friends, you'll probably make a joke.
Because you know what you feel on the inside isn't what you want people to know.
If you have to pretend to be happy, find someone you trust and tell them.
If you get mad at things and you don't know why, or have thoughts about hurting yourself,
find someone you trust and tell them.
You are never alone when you share.
Seriously, people care about you. It's okay to not understand what you're feeling.
And it's easy to think that you're all alone.
But you don't have to be.
You're never alone when you share.
Don't be ashamed to tell someone you trust what you're feeling.
You're not alone.
You are not alone.
Find someone you trust and tell them.
Tell a parent.
Tell a teacher. Tell a brother.
You haven't done anything wrong.
Talk to someone.
talk to someone. It's how things get better.
Embarrassed. Too embarrassed to speak to a loved one. Too embarrassed to speak to your doctor.
Too embarrassed. When in our lifetime, 1 in 4 black men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. 1 in 12 black men will die from prostate cancer.
Let me repeat that. 1 in 4 black men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. 1 in 12 black men will die from prostate cancer disease.
1 in 12. That could be your dad, even your older brother, uncle, or grandfather.
You need to make sure they are not embarrassed to speak to you or their doctor about it.
Hey, Dad, have you had your prostate checked out? See? How hard is that? It's easy. Just start the conversation.
Prostate cancer is survivable if caught and treated early enough.
Don't let embarrassment stop you having this important conversation.
You may save someone's life.
Not just your own.
Only a father can understand. Only a husband can understand. Only a man can understand. Prostate cancer. It's about more than fear of cancer. It's about fear of losing urinary control and sexual function. That's why more men turn to Jackson South for robotic surgery than anywhere else in South Florida. Get the facts at jacksonprostatefacts.org. Miracles made daily.
Hello and welcome to Silicon House Productions, your #1 leading supplier in PA systems, LED screens, 4K ultra-modern OB van for live broadcasting and many more. We come your way with our state-of-the-art studios. Studio A is mainly used for podcasts, conferences, talk shows, webinars, etc. Whilst our ultra-modern Studio B comes with a 200-seater capacity, state-of-the-art cameras, digital pull-up banners or LED posters, giant LED walls with IMAX, PA system with backlines for live recording and multi-tracking, high-quality stage lights, and our VIP lounge to host your important guests. At our MCR or Master Control Room, we use a live mixing console for your final mixing, 16-input vision mixer. Through our mother company KNet, we are equipped with uninterrupted internet service for live streaming onto social media platforms and a live view for broadcasting. We have a conducive atmosphere, clean washrooms and dressing rooms. So, if you are looking for a serene environment where all your creative ideas will be transformed into a technical reality, then choose Silicon House Productions.
Okay, next one.
Right, welcome back. You're still watching the arena here on WoezorTV. We are almost at the verge of concluding the program for tonight. We've been privileged tonight because Kojo Ademes has been in our midst. We've spoken to Michael Otieje and Christopher Nimley as well. We've been talking about the Black Stars and what we should expect, who comes in as the new Black Stars head coach. But like I said earlier, we are all preparing for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and we can all contribute because 2 people at least will be going to the 2026 World Cup today, tomorrow, and 2 more the next day. This is the Black Stars World Cup support raffle, and for just 10 cedis you could win a full World Cup experience package, return flight, accommodation, and a match ticket to all 3 Ghana Group games in North America. And there are daily consolation prizes too, cash to your mobile money wallets, autographed Black Stars jerseys, VIP fan pack tickets, and data bundles, and more. Now, entry ticket is your vote for the Black Stars, and your shot at being there when the Black Stars they take on Panama, Croatia, and then England. To participate, just dial *899# and on MTN Telecel and then Airtel Tigo, just 10 cedis. And you can also join. The more you buy, the better your chances. Now you can do this 2 winners every day, and we can ensure that we'll get some more numbers at the World Cup. So just dial *899# or visit GH World Cup raffle.com, and then you can also join the campaign of getting Black Stars to the 2026 FIFA World Cup as well. Kojo, all too soon we'll do the team of the team of the week shortly, and we'll do the performance of Ghanaian players abroad shortly. But there is one good thing that we've been told, because the government is willing to pay to ensure that we get a more quality, an experienced and a very good coach who takes over. And so we just have to be patient. Perhaps we just have to be patient with the FA and hope that they get it right this time around, like we've been assured. And then we just hope, like, you didn't like the president coming out to say that this, that, and that, but I think that he has already come out to say that we want a winner, whether we're club side or whatever it is.
What is a winner? Is this somebody who has won the World Cup before? How many coaches who have won the World Cup before are available? And how many of them are even abreast with modern, or who was the most recent who is available? Who are the defending champions? Argentina, right? Yeah. That it's not going to be the guy who won. Who was the previous winner before Argentina? Was it France? Didier is still at post. Then before that, let's go back. I think you stop at Joachim Low. That's where you stop. And really, is that the person who won the trophy is now what 12 years ago? Is that the person? You see, that's why sometimes I don't know what. If I were him, I would never have said a word. Oti said he's the marketer of the FA, and at this time you needed to calm the nerves. I agree with the interview, but I would not have come up and say, "Oh, and I want a winner." And I think 15 years I say me go by, and you look at where we are.
Right. Maybe I'm picking. There's an information that is coming in. I don't know. Paulo Bento. We'll discuss this.
Michael's man.
Yeah. I mean, that's the name coming in. I'm just telling you.
Man back here because he beat him, man.
Anyways, Mike, let's Wendell, let's do the Arena Team of the Week, and then we do a paid ad, and then we can call it a show. So it's time for us to do our Arena Team of the show, Arena Team of the Week, and it will be presented to us by Wendell.
Yes, so for the Arena Team of the Week, we start at the back with Lucas Chevalier of Lille. He kept a clean sheet in their 3-0 derby du Nord over Lens. Then we move to right back Alejandro Grimaldo of Bayern Leverkusen. 2 goals, including a penalty in the 6-3.
They came from 3 goals down to win 6-3.
Yeah. Then in that same team, we have Edmond Tapsoba. He also scored a goal in that 6-3 thriller. Then we move on to Barcelona, where we have Ronald Araujo. He was quite instrumental in their 2-1 win against Atletico Madrid. That was a cracker of a game. Then to left back, we go all the way to France, Nuno Mendes of PSG. A very standout performance.
The guy who pocketed Salah.
Yeah. He has been known to pocket a lot of the big names of late. Yes.
Solid player.
Then in midfield, we move to Italy, Hakan Çalhanoğlu.
That's goal, man.
That goal that he scored.
He scored a cracker of a goal over the weekend. And I mean, he was very solid in midfield, directed the play in midfield to ensure the 5-2 demolition of AS Roma. And a new name on the list, Tom Bishop of Bayern Munich. scored 2 late goals to help Bayern come from 2 goals down to win 3-2 in the dying embers of the game. And
an attacking midfielder playing left back.
Yeah. Then, still in Germany, we have Julian Brandt of Borussia Dortmund. He scored a late goal to help seal a 2-0 win at Stuttgart, and he was also solid in that game. We move back to Italy, and we have Marcus Thuram of Inter Milan.
He's been under fire for some time.
He has been under fire for quite some time, and it looks like anytime he comes back from international break,
he scores a goal.
He scores a goal.
Oh, wow. What country does he play?
France. His father.
Lilian Thuram?
Yes. I think his father takes him home and shows him a few clips, and when he comes back, he's very gingered. So he helped Inter Milan in that 5-2 victory. Then we move back to France. Jonathan David, the attacker of Lille. He also put in a very clinical performance in that 3-0 victory against Lens. And then the last, which is the striker of the week, Patrick Schick of Bayern Leverkusen. He had a goal and an assist in that high-scoring game against Wolfsburg. And our manager for the week is no one else but Simeone Inzaghi, after masterminding Christian Kivu, who masterminded that 5-2 win over Roma.
Not the Leverkusen coach.
Beating Roma, beating 5 at the back of Roma. It's a very tough one.
Guys, there are some 2 names that I've also but let's pick this quick ad, and then we'll come back in studio, and then Mike will give us the performance of the Ghanaians players abroad, and Kweku will give us Kojo will give us his final thoughts, and we can wrap it up. Stay with us.
Can he tee up someone in red? And it goes to one!
That's real goal you score. I got 5 Champions League. You want to know? I be the real goal. Sam, I be the real goal. The left magician.
Who is the goat? Ghana Jollof or Nigeria Jollof?
Ghana Jollof has no co-equal. The smell alone. Oh my God.
On that shift. You two the lie. Now the same stew when they use cook the rice and then they go put them for top.
You are lying. Ghana Jollof.
Are you idiot? Forget everybody. My guy. Put some respect on the goat. On the goat. The only goat I know lives in Tama. Every year we give to you back. We are talking about PET. I want to hear the face. Except be the goat. My guy, he be the goat.
Though our choice of goats may differ in football, music, and jollof, Alomo Bitters always brings us together. Alomo, experience greatness in every moment.
Drink responsibly. Not for sale to persons under 18. Not recommended.
Right, welcome back. You're still watching the arena here on WoezorTV. My name is Samuel Appiah, and I'm in studio with Kujade Mensah, Wandel Amo, and then Michael Gogo. The show is proudly sponsored by MyBet.Africa, always holding us down. Right, for now, Michael will give us the performance of Ghanaians abroad. Mike.
Yeah, okay, so Kojo and Wendell will not like this, but Antoine Semenyo played for Manchester City and gave a brilliant chip cross for Haaland to score, and a wonderful chip himself. He played off 90 minutes in the FA Cup quarter-final. So Antoine Semenyo over there. In the Championship, Leicester seem to be sinking down every match week, but Fatai Isaac, who seems to be their crown in the jewel. That jewel in the crown, sorry, he played 90 minutes as they drew 2-2 with Preston North End. Ibrahim Osman started the game for the first time in a while after Birmingham lost to Blackburn Rovers. He played only 65 minutes. When we go to La Liga, Joseph Edu started a game this weekend as Celta Vigo scored one against Valencia 3-2. He played a full 90 minutes. Inaki Williams was a bit underwhelming as Athletic Club lost to Getafe. If you know Getafe very well, it's not even a surprise. In France, we go to Ligue 1. Seydou Alido is back to starting. He started and played 81 minutes for Reims as they won 4-3 against Stade Brestois. Elisha Wusu and Gideon Mensah were all in the running. Both played 90 minutes as Auxerre drew 1-1 with Le Havre. And then in League 2, Augustin Boache also played. This time he played in the midfield for Saint-Etienne as they drew 1-1 with Nancy. When we go to the German Bundesliga, Ransford Koningsdorfer, he scored a goal as Hamburg drew 1-1 with Augsburg. And then the Recon also gave a very brilliant assist as Union Berlin drew 1-1 with St. Pauli. When we go to the Turkish Super League, Jerome Opoku played against current debutant of the Black Stars, Daniel Eje. So Jerome Opoku faced his fellow brother who was just called out for the recent Black Stars squad. But Saxe Hill drew 0-0 with Kocaelispor. Daniel Eje was on the other side of the team with Kocaelispor. Both of them played 90 minutes. Now we move to Greece. Abdul Rahman, he played for PAOK Thessaloniki as they secured a very important 0-0 draw against Panathinaikos. And then in the Saudi Pro League, Christopher Bonsuba played all 90 minutes as Al-Qadsiya lost to Al-Ettifaq. So there you have it.
Wow. Okay. I don't know if I can break this news here, but okay, so that is our arena performance of Ghanaian players abroad. But production, just allow me to break this news here because I'm getting credible news from the Sudanese FA, and they have confirmed to me that Kwesi Appiah's name has been added to a 3-man shortlist which has been concluded by the Ghana Football Association. So Kwesi Appiah's name is in the mix of, or Kwesi Appiah is in the mix of becoming the next Black Stars coach going into the 2026 FIFA World Cup. So three-man shortlist has been done, 2 European coaches, and Kwesi Appiah is in the mix as well. So that is the breaking news coming in. And I must also add that the Sudanese FA have no issues with Kwesi Appiah leading the Black Stars to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. It is just for the interim. Maybe the guys knew something about it, just perhaps. It is just for the interim. And after the World Cup, Kwesi Appiah gets back to Sudan as the head coach of Sudan. So that is the breaking news coming in right from the Sudanese FA. That is what I'm getting now. So Kwesi Appiah has been added to 2 European coaches, and the final decision will be made by the Ghana Football Association. Let's do our investors corner, and then Kojo will share some filter over there. We can leave the studio. So, Premier League, Arsenal will host FC Bournemouth. We are saying a home win, and then Olympique Marseille, they will host FC Metz in Liga, and then Real Madrid will take on Girona. We are saying a home win for Real Madrid. Barcelona against Espanyol, we are saying home win. Al Hilal against Al Khaloud, and we are saying a home win. And then is it the same club again? Okay. Against Al Nassr, and I say that away win for Al Nassr, and then Godstep. Am I right?
Godstep.
All right. And they will take on Galatasaray in the Egyptian. In the Turkish Super League. I don't know why. We are saying that away win for Galatasaray in that particular one. And let's have our booking code here. And you can make some money. You can take our booking code. That is 9FBP. 9FBP. That is our booking code. So you can take this booking code, go into My Bet at Africa, and then you can make some very, very good money. My brother South Africa, thank you very much for always holding us down. But guys, concluding thoughts, Mike. Let me begin from you. Appiah.
At this point, I don't know why you would go the third time to bring the same, like bringing back the third time. There was a reason you sacked him the first time. There was a reason you sacked him the second time. All that should count for reasons why he shouldn't come back the third time. But at the end of the day, if they feel he's the best option to take us to the World Cup, that's fine. The World Cup is just 3 months away, and the performances will judge for itself. And as we've always said, the FA cannot afford to get this one wrong. So if they get it wrong, difficult conversations will have to be had, and it's all on them. Because from the government side, whatever you need, they claim they have provided. You have to make the good use of the resources they have provided. So if you are not able to make good use of it, then that means difficult conversations have to be had after the World Cup.
Right, wonderful. Thank you very much, Mike.
Well, we've been here, we've said a lot, but then again, like Kojo said, he put out a criteria and we are hearing names that don't fit the
exactly.
And so we will be here again, and then like I said, before World Cup we had a conversation, after World Cup we had the same conversation again, before AFCON we will have another conversation the same way again, and this is how we have treated our football since.
Me, I'll be in shock if Kwesi picks the job. The way Ghanaians didn't chichi form. I am his #1 supporter. Do you know that I went to Morocco because of Sudan?
I see.
I met Kwesi in his hotel room, in my hotel lobby. We had a nice chat. He's one of the main reasons why I flew to Morocco to support him. The way Ghanaians vilified this man. Anyway, very quick one. Team of the week. The next time I come into the studio, I want a GPL team of the week. You people are doing Europe. From Haifa to Greece, Turkey, Azerbaijan, you know. Give me Ghana. Let your viewers follow Ghana Premier League. If you go and copy Fatal the other so no like come and say something about Ghana Premier League.
All right.
Europe.
Thank you very much. Mike, you said you wanted to say something before.
Yeah, my very good friends at Presbyterian University of Ghana, at Asante Achim campus, they are going for, they are running for SRC presidency. Team Dab, Daniel Entry-Buahene, he's running for the president, and Ansa Vanessa for the SRC vice president. So, if you are students of Presbyterian University, in the Asante Achim Agogo campus, just go out there and vote for them.
Right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, and thank you very much also to my Better Africa for holding us down. But a very quick one: a happy birthday to you, Peter Atu Mensah. Peter Atu Mensah. You are the organizer at Abra Obohen in the AAK district. So happy blessed birthday to you, Peter Atu Mensah. My name has been Samuel Appiah. I've been doing this together with Wandelamo, Michael Gogo, and then our special guest, Kojo Ademes, joining us, making time to join us to talk to us as well. We spoke to Michael Otieje on the via Zoom, and then Coach Christopher Nimley as well via phone. Thank you very much to the camera guys, Jonas, and then the guys at the MCR, Kevin, what was
the motion care.
The motion care.